Well guys, I just received a package in the mail. Wonder what it could be. So thanks to Haloview for sending this to us, but we're going to be installing an MC7108 wireless monitor camera system on our fifth wheel. We already have the Furrion pre-wired system in our RV, so this should mostly just be a plug-in and play install. Let's see what all came in this box. Let's see here. Get a nice piece of foam, just kidding. So in this package we do get the 7-inch monitor, the M7108, which is right here. And it also comes with the Furrion bracket and power adapter. That way we can just plug it directly into the Furrion wiring system that we already have. So here we go, this is a 7-inch monitor, which really looks nice, and looks like you can see me in the monitor's reflection. Here is the backup camera itself, or the observation camera. And it looks like this is some sort of dash mount that you can use to put the monitor on. We also got the extender here, so we can extend our signal a little bit further rather than just the antenna that's originally on the video camera here. Here's the two antennas and your cables. I'll probably actually install that later this week or next week. I just wanted to show you, as I was opening it for the first time myself, what was inside the box and what you all get. Alright guys, so the wind has died down a little bit, and of course it's picking up as soon as I'm starting to talk. But here is the Haloview rear backup camera system for your RV. And what I'm going to be doing a little bit differently than some other videos is I'm actually going to be using our Furrion pre-wired system. This is pretty much just going to be a plug-in and play for this installation, I think. But as I mentioned earlier, here is your camera, the actual camera you're going to be mounting on the back of your RV. And then the AC adapter, or the DC adapter that'll be going from your screen here to your truck. And then they have multiple ways to get power, and since I'm going to be using my Furrion kit already, they have this adapter that plugs into the camera from right here, and this little adapter goes into the back of the RV, the set they already have out there. And since I ordered the Furrion kit, it also comes with this mounting bracket for this camera. This kit also comes with the regular power setups here that would normally come with the kit. This one you can just hardwire into the system that you have. And this is for the trigger, so if you have multiple cameras, you can actually have this pointing to the different cameras so you can flip through it on your screen here. And these are the two antennas that normally come with the kit. One's for your camera itself and the other one is for your monitor. But this is actually the extender. Since I have a longer fifth wheel, this will help get that signal going all the way up to the front of the truck. Then over here you have your 7-inch monitor. You can get a 7-inch or a 5-inch monitor. I decided to get the 7-inch just so I can see things a little bit better. And this is just more mounting hardware for the monitor itself along with this, and it has the 3M sticky piece on the bottom so you can stick it onto the dash of your truck. Like I said, this should be a pretty easy, simple install. It should pretty much be plug-in and play since I already have it pre-wired for the Furrion system. This is just using a little bit different mounting hardware in order to make the Haloview compatible with the Furrion system that's already hooked up to the RV. If you're like me, and in case you're wondering what it looks like with this little plate off, your pre-wired system off, really all it is a place to have another mounting bracket on here to hold your camera on, and it also has a place to hook in your power. So the first step is just to take 4 screws out of this so you can get your other camera mounted on there. And if you are installing on a Furrion pre-installed system like this, you'll want to make sure you get this bracket, because this bracket's going to go around this plug, and that way you can mount it on the pre-existing holes in your RV. Camera itself will be mounting to this bracket. And the first step here is to use these rounded screws and just mount on the mounting bracket on there. So I was trying to figure out a way to utilize this shield up here, thinking if I could maybe take this apart, but it doesn't really look like it'll fit inside there or have any way to mount onto it. So I don't think that's gonna work. So it looks like this actually locks in there. You plug this adapter in like so, then you just twist it, locks it into place so it's not going to go anywhere. So now really all we have to do is plug this thing in and screw it into the back of the RV. Fortunately I don't have enough hands here, but I'm going to be plugging it into the back of this, then screwing the mount into these four holes here. So I may have to mess with this a little bit, but It's definitely too much wire for this scenario. So you kind of have to manage the wire. There's some places to feed it under there to get it up out of the way. Obviously it could probably look a little better than what I did now, so I might redo that here in a bit. The only problem with this method, and I don't know if you can see it, but there's actually a little gap around that wire going back into the RV. So I may end up putting a little bit of silicone sealant around that just to make sure we don't have any damage here. Because the Furrion kit usually goes over the top of that, so you don't have to worry about that, but not so much with this kit. So I'm probably gonna first try this with just the normal smaller antenna on the camera back there and see if that's good enough signal. If not, I'll probably have to use that extender that you can actually mount on the top of your roof. Yeah, you just literally screw it into the back of this, so it's not very hard at all. All right guys, it's about to rain, so I think I'm gonna have to close up shop for today, but I'll finish the install tomorrow. I'll show you where I got today. I ended up putting silicone around the screw holes just to make sure everything's okay, since that plastic cover can't fit over the top of this camera. So we'll see how it does. I also was able to angle up the camera a bit more than what it was originally, so a little bit more of an observation camera than just a backup camera. All right guys, so the outside is pretty much done with the install. Now it's time to figure out how I want to put this monitor inside the truck. So my original plan was to have the monitor sitting right over here, right underneath the window on the dash, but as you can see, the antenna is pretty massive, so I do not think it's gonna fit there. So I may end up just not even mounting this permanently, but just setting it on my middle console as I'm driving. They do have this other metal bracket that can attach to the sides of this monitor, and technically you could just like drill that into your truck or however you wanted to mount it, but I really don't want to do that, so I'm probably just gonna leave it right about here. So one of the hardest parts of this install was just trying to pair this monitor back to the camera itself, just because they give you a 20-second time where you actually have to physically press that button on the back of the camera in order to pair it up here. So I ended up just enlisting Deanna's help, and she here, I'll just show you. So yeah, in order to pair, you can just hold down the OK button for, I think it was 3 seconds. And then within 20 seconds after doing that, you have to press the button on the back of the camera itself in order to pair the monitor to the camera. It took a couple tries, but we were eventually able to get that sorted out. So as you can see here, the monitor does not have any signal. Found out that in order to get powered to the back camera, it's not the reverse lights that turns it on. All you have to do is turn on your lights, your parking lights on your truck or your vehicle, at least on our F-250 in our Grand Design, and that turns the monitor on in the back. And to go over some of the features it has on here, there is a select button. You can change brightness. There's a menu. We'll just start playing around with some of these. So the select is selecting different cameras. You can get up to 4 different cameras on this monitor if you have multiple cameras. You can actually have side-by-side views as well. But we just had the one camera, so that's what we'll leave it on. And you can change the brightness up and down on these settings here. And the menu button, click the menu, and you can just toggle through these different things. If you click picture, you can see your brightness, contrast. You can actually change the color around a little bit. The menu is just your back button. Then this mirror thing can come in handy. If you want to reverse the camera, depending on how you mount it, you can change it to be upside down or mirror if you rather look at it like you're looking in a rearview mirror as you're backing up. This Q mode, this is just how you want to split up your different cameras throughout here. And for settings, you can set the time if you want to have the clock on this thing, and your different cameras. Oh, and you have auto dim too, I guess, for if it's too bright outside. We have auto scan. Oh, I think that's if you have multiple cameras, it can automatically scan to a different view for you, so you don't have to press this while you're driving. You can add park lines if you want. You can change the display on which camera you want the park lines to be on. So you can see now we have the park lines, even though I probably won't use that, but you can kind of see which way you would be backing up if you were to use this as a backup camera. And the nice little thing about this monitor as well, there's a place to insert an SD card right up here. So you can insert the micro SD card and actually record footage while you're going down. So if someone was to rear end you or something, you could have proof of that. Or if you are a YouTuber like myself, you could probably utilize some of this 720p footage for your videos. But yeah, that's pretty much all the features within this monitor itself. But yeah, the transmitting distance is about 984 feet. We'll be testing that as we're going down the road, make sure everything's working okay. There is a nice little feature on here as well. I didn't get any footage of it, but while I was hooking this up, Deanna went back to the ladder and she actually spoke, and the camera itself has a little microphone on it, so you can actually hear someone talking on the other side of this if you want to. So if you're backing up the RV and you don't want to have to use walkie-talkies or something, if the person talks loud enough, you can probably hear it in the back of this camera. So that can be a little helpful. We'll have to test that as we're going to our next spot to see if that actually picks it up or not. But yeah, let's test this thing out and head down the road in a couple days. So now I'm going to be testing my backup skills here with the new camera. It's kind of an interesting situation because we have to back up this way and we can't really pull through, even though this is a pull through spot. So we get to test out our new backup camera. See if I can hold my GoPro while I'm doing this. So it turns out I didn't get my tripod for this, so I'm just going to back up around here. I'm not going to be able to film this because I can't hold this and use the steering wheel at the same time. So I will tell you what the end result was. But yeah, it seemed to work out pretty well. Deanna was kind of still directing me as I was backing up, so that worked out well. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty nice camera. Didn't lose any signal or anything, so we'll do some testing down the road and see how it does. So yeah, it seems to be working out pretty well. Luckily this thing does record footage, so I should be able to put some of that in here as we're traveling to Utah today. But yeah guys, this camera is really awesome. It's definitely helping me out going down the road and seeing everyone behind me as I'm driving. You do just have to keep your light on, your parking light or your regular lights, in order to have the camera on for your backup camera, observation camera. Yeah, it's a beautiful day, so it's a great day to capture some footage back there too.